Oh baby, I'm excited.
CreepCast started on November 7th, 2023, with its debut release of an introduction video on November 17th. Not many times do creators read and listen to the wants of their beloved subscribers, as funny as that sounds, but these two individuals did, and what came out of it was a great show that fans are fiending for more of. At the time of this recording, there is 13 official stories posted, starting with the stairs in the woods, and recently posted the showers. The show was deeply wanted by the fans, but this request did not come out of nowhere. Before the creation of the channel CreepCast, there was a story called Ted the Caver, which the YouTubers read and made funny jokes on and officially released it to the Papa Meat channel. This was the first unofficial episode of the CreepCast.
Yo, your toes are mad long. Yo, hand me that remote with your foot. I just want to see if it's possible.
For the people that do not know what this show is about, let me introduce you to the creators and the premise. This is Wendigoon, someone I just posted a video on the other day, and Papa Meat, also known as Meat Canyon. In short, Wendigoon dives into deep lore of certain subjects, reviews historical events, conspiracy theories, and more.
To turn a profit. And also, welcome to Wendigoon.
While Meat Canyon reviews and reacts to disturbing events.
If I had to be tortured, I would definitely want to be in the Iron Maiden. That's fucking rad.
Trending topics that are funny or dark.
If you know, you know.
Goes on entertaining quests, and he is an animator that you have very likely watched before. One day, these two decided to make a video together and read what is widely considered one of the first creepypastas ever created. Creepypastas are fan-made stories that are usually posted onto Reddit, Twitter, sites like that, and they usually are full of disturbing, morbid, spooky, stuff like that. One could even say creepy. With the overwhelmingly good feedback that came with this video, it became abundantly clear that the fans wanted more. They wanted to see these two together often and reading more of these stories. So they did. They made a video on stairs in the woods, but something was off. They didn't read the story. The text wasn't on the screen. Me and a lot of other watchers were lost. We never read the story before, and I don't know how to read very good, so I am not doing that on my own time. So throughout the episode, most of the viewers were lost. CreepCast was at an all-time...
Get us started in here. We also heard some feedback from your guys' stuff, so we will be reading directly from it and, you know, getting you all loosey and juicy in the story here.
Well, this changes things. This is a great example of listening to your subscribers for the greater good. They are the ones watching this shit after all. Would CreepCast have done good without the story and the text? Probably, but not as good as it does with it. Giving the people what they want is key, people. And they listened. Working around the kinks and finding their rhythm, they posted about every 2 weeks. They have a dynamic in the show that's really enjoyable. They bounce off of each other well and are super funny together. The Ted the Caver episode greatly shows this by having moments where they are poking fun at the characters and making almost new characters entirely.
Yo, when did your dog lose his teeth and have orange eyes? Yo, is your dog the same height as Xerxes from 300?
Then, after the jokes, they go back into the scary story that they are reading. It's a perfect balance of fear and comedy. With that being said, their second episode was a great release, showing us that nostalgia also plays a big factor in these stories. Are they still good? Do they hold up? Jeff the Killer was rather comical than scary. It was weird and edgy, and its age showed. The two hosts were laughing at many parts, and you couldn't help but join them. Later on down the road, there was then episodes like Baraska. If you don't know what Baraska is, I strongly suggest you go to CreepCast and watch it, because it's something that first off, I'm not going to explain it, and second off, you know, you just got to experience it, because dear God. This was a big turn in the show. This reminded us that not all of these episodes are going to be like Jeff the Killer, and some of these stories are actually written, if not just as good, better than the TV shows and movies that are getting released today. You got to remember, even though it's fan-made, these people are still writers. They clearly care about most of this stuff. These stories definitely have the power to tug on your heartstrings and make you think a little bit more than anticipated. I'm happy though, because I thought that I would know a lot of these creepypastas, as whenever I was in like middle school, I used to look up creepypastas all the time. But I was surprised to see that I haven't heard of almost all of them. There's classics that everyone knows of, hence Jeff the Killer. And then there's hidden gems that casuals like me never heard of. Both Isaiah, Wendigoon, and Hunter, Papa Meat, also sometimes have never read some of these stories, and that just makes it way more fun. You feel like you're the third person with them reacting and reading the story.
Oh, they got free drinks here? Let's go.
Yo, Kipper! Yeah, he's like across the deal. Yo, Kipper, they got tea! He like takes out his iPhone and puts it in his pocket. He's just playing Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa as loud as it possibly can go. Yeah, uh-huh. He's like, you know what it is, Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow.
The potential of the show is huge. The people are loving it, I'm loving it, and as far as I can tell, they're also loving it, I hope. So hopefully it continues for a long time. Also, listening to creators who are well knowledgeable in the horror space, giving their feedback is amazing since they have read and watched multiple products in the horror genre. Most of the listeners are also huge fans of horror, and we feel like we can connect on a deeper level since we all understand the references or other media that is brought up. It's a nice little cozy fan base to be a part of. But what does this mean for CreepyPastas? Because as I mentioned before, this is a... Because as I mentioned before, this is kind of like an older, not platform, but older fan base, I guess? This is what I think. Creepypastas, to the majority of people at least, have been a rather dead topic. People don't really bring it up referencing an older story. So I think Papa Meat and Wendigoon reading them and introducing a lot more people to the area is great for both small creators and just listeners like me. If it inspires people to pick up the pen and start writing again, great. If it gets people simply just back into horror stories, awesome. If you watch an episode, they're never bashing someone for writing a story and it being bad just because it's a bad story. If it's poorly written, which in most cases is just because the author was young, then they usually give it the benefit of the doubt and give out tips to the writer. They let them know what they thought was stale, or they let them know about the bad dialogue, which is typically the problem.
Given enough time to learn, that thing could be a top predator.
And let me guess, you can't let that happen. Oh my God.
I know the writers of both the Left Right Game and The Thing in My Basement is Getting Better at Mimicking People were in touch with both Isaiah and Hunter through the show. So that's really cool in my opinion. You know, I read the comment of The Thing in My Basement video. I saw that he commented in the video and I thought he was lying, but no, it was really him. And yeah, he was just like, I was young whenever I wrote it. And a lot of people in the comments were also like, you know, no one was just bashing him. So it's a nice, safe environment. I hope that with this rebirth and interest in the subject, we get a lot more cool stories and people refine their love for writing them. It's also a great way to get your work in front of people. Just saying to all my writers out there. When I see the CreepCast thumbnail pop up on my screen, I get hyped because that means when I go do my cardio, I now have my favorite show to watch. That's right. When I'm running on the treadmill, I'm listening to this type of stuff. I love it. Like I said, it's the perfect balance between their personalities and we're all listening to the same story. I don't know, they crushed it with this and are still crushing it. Even though creepypastas have maybe fallen off of their prime, CreepCast is the perfect show to bring it back. Something about just random small writers making a story about some morbid or just spooky stuff is awesome. I haven't heard about Eyeless Jack or Laughing Jack in forever, so I wonder if they'll dive into those type of stories. I doubt it, but they have before, so. It's kind of on the same level as Jeff the Killer, but man, the nostalgia. You get everything in this show, man. It's a trip. And if you haven't checked it out yet, please give it a watch. I'll link the YouTube in the description below, of course. They're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Yeah, go check them out. And if you have already watched CreepCast, let me know what you think about what I said in this video. Let me know if you like it, if you agree with the things I said. I think the show has so much potential, and I love driving and just listening to it, even old episodes. I hope they keep up the good work, and if you ever want a third listener, I'm always open to it. All right, bye guys. This video was literally just me fangirling about CreepCast for 20 minutes. Hey man, I like the show. All right, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Does this look stupid?